Hey everyone, welcome back to another build order tutorial. This time it's going to be a cheesy Terran versus Zerg build order. So what we have here is the Turax that has been developed recently. So it actually goes into a bit of a macro game, but of course with the Turax first and foremost. So first and foremost, send an SCV out as soon as you spawn. Send another SCV out as it spawns. And then build a supply depot with one of the other SCVs. Build a barracks in Proxy. And then another barracks. We're back to SCV production. Build a gas geyser at 16. Or a Terran, I guess it's a refinery. Saturate your refinery. Build an orbital and start your marine production. And when you find the money, build a bunker at the front of the Zerg's natural. Build another supply depot. Don't forget to not get supply blocked during this aggression. Continue producing marines, microing, trying to keep that bunker alive. Don't be too aggressive in the natural. You don't want to rush up into the main base unless you are sure there's an opportunity to. And then build a factory back at home, completing that wall off. Now you can set your SCV to auto repair on the bunker, and the follow-up of this build is going to be very dependent on how good it's going. So if you are doing great, then continue producing marines from the barracks and perhaps try and end the game. If it's not going so great, or you busted the natural but don't feel confident killing the main base, then focus on your defenses back at home with the factory and whatever follow-up you choose. So single expansion, double expansion, it's up to you. So the strength of this build is that it provides harassment and scouting. That's usually, if you're going to be harassing someone, then you should also be paying attention to what your units are seeing. It's a solid pressure opener. It's been tried and tested by the pros at this point for a couple of months. It is something that is going to stick around as an opener for a little while longer. It can provide quick wins, so if you're looking for that cheesy win against Zerg because you hate playing against it recently, well then this might be it. And it's not the usual way to play, so even though it is still pretty set amongst professional players, it is still a rarity. So you might get the surprise on the Zerg player, even if they know how to defend against it, maybe their follow-up isn't that strong. And it's flexible. Again, the thing I mentioned earlier about how the follow-up is kind of dependent on how it goes. There's certainly been games where it didn't really go that well, but because the follow-up was solid enough, it went okay, again, as an opener, basically. Now, the weaknesses, counter strategies can leave this build borderline useless. So many games have actually, we've seen these guys just get absolutely stomped with the Turax, yet be able to go into a decent macro game, because they're really good, but maybe that can happen to you. But counter strategies do exist. Certainly pool first are going to make this difficult to actually do any damage with. They're going to have lings, they're going to have queens, and if you get scouted as well, they can pull the drones. That's difficult to deal with early on. Micro-oriented, so difficult to pull off if you're not the micro-oriented type, and of course it can leave you behind in the mid-game. That's one of the weaknesses of any opener that's very aggressive. Alright, the tips of this build. So 3 bunkers can wall off, or mostly wall off, most natural chokes and create complications for the Zerg. And that's a heavy mineral investment that you're not necessarily banking that much. So be wary of just slapping all those down at once. Really read your situation and try and learn, I guess, from failed tier axes of the past. Secondary marine attack can surprise a confident Zerg. This has been true for the last 7 years of StarCraft. Basically, any follow-up all-in or follow-up attack can be the thing that kills, especially a Zerg player, because they're going to think they can finally get back to droning, and really you have like 16 Marines balled up in a corner, ready to kill them. Factory can build Hellions or Cyclones, and technically Widow Mines. Choose based on how the Zerg defended / may counter-attack you, so you're most likely going to be choosing either Hellions or Cyclones. Hellions for Lings, Cyclones for Roaches. Follow-ups can include 2 or 3 command centers, so expand once or twice. Obviously, one will delay your post-2-rax aggression a little while longer, but it might be worth it. Failing this build by mismicroing or being countered doesn't necessarily mean game over, so as soon as your bunkers are destroyed, don't necessarily leave, but if your main is ever broken and you can't get your natural for a long time, you're probably dead. And of course, if you like this content, then consider following me on this YouTube channel, on Twitter, on Twitch, on Instagram, supporting my Patreon, whatever. And also, go ahead and check out my other videos. Thanks for watching.